Well,
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
welcome to Aries Brood. So my name is Lucas, and we're just going to be taking a little look back at 2025. So I played a lot of games this last 2025, and I just really felt like 2025 was a strong year for board games, and I wanted to look back at the top 10 trends that I really saw as I was playing games, going to conventions, and just hitting up, like all the local game shops that I frequent here in Colorado. So, yeah, let's get started then. So my number 10 this year was that indie RPGs really proved that they can compete with major publishers. This was, large in part just because of the success of Kickstarter. They really found just like a great niche, they found a great way to compete, like with all the major labels. And we were finding that Free League and even like this great local company called Dire Wolf, everybody's kickstarting. And so with Dire Wolf in particular, they're the ones behind Root and some other titles, and they're great. They're just like a great local indie game publisher that was able to like really create a stir in a lot of game stores, at least here in Colorado anyway. So it was just great to see just indie RPGs and indie games just like really make a splash this year. Be large in part, because of Kickstarter. So number 9 is Grimdark really became a dominant creative tone this year. Now, whether that's just because everybody's just a little down, I don't know, but we're just seeing that bleak fantasy horror and a little moral ambiguity in our games is just becoming more mainstream than ever. And so this year, it just really seemed to me like it became a dominant creative tone. And so now it helps for me and, and a lot of the folks that I play with, because I don't know, like we all just kind of like being in the suck together, much like many veterans can attest to you, that I don't know, if you're gonna suck, then it's a lot of fun to just be stuck together through this little misery. So that just it just became a trend of this year that I saw anyway. And number 8, cooperative board games really just took over game nights. players increasingly gravitated towards shared success and failure instead of winner take all competition. Now, I mean, of course, there's always going to be the folks that want to win, but I really, like found that um, that there's so many great cooperative board games out there, and that a lot of the game stores that I was talking to, like Enchanted Grounds in town, really found that uh, they were looking for something, that either everybody wins or everybody loses. And there's so many great games uh, that are played out that way. Um, Spirit Island comes to mind. That one, you know, yeah, it is a winner take all, with everyone involved, and that everybody's playing a part, because everybody is just playing elements of the island, basically, and you are thwarting um, colonizers in a way. So you're thwarting people who are coming to the island with nefarious purposes, and so it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to to just kind of give dole out these people's comeuppance um, in the way that your character or your element or your god can. So it's a lot of fun. But and then there are also like horror movies, uh, so horror games like say Scream, where everybody is like, feverishly trading cards, in between turns while you have Ghostface, like running around, and he warns you ahead of time that he is going to be after a particular person. And so then by the time that you hear from Ghostface again, then you better get the the cards that he wants in that person's hands. And it's so you're just feverishly just trading cards, and just trying to get um that particular card combination to that player. And it's a lot of fun. So but then at the end of the game, if Ghostface, winds up killing one of you, then you all lose. So uh it's uh it's just an interesting trend, that is being written into a lot more rules where everybody wins and everybody loses, or everybody wins or everyone loses. So number 7 is the Year Zero engine influenced game design beyond its own line. Um, Man, Year Zero engine is just taking over, which I really like a lot. It's now I am biased in that it certainly is like one of my favorite OGLs, or open gaming licenses, and it's great. So Free League's stress driven, consequence forward mechanics became a reference point for indie designers. Um, Nobody wants to learn new rules anymore, and you may have some brilliant rules for your role playing game. Well, I hate to tell you, but not too many people want to hear new rules. And Free League um, has just like really become popular enough that many people know their rules. Many role playing game players really know their rules. And so it's just been great to see the Year Zero engine really blow up some great um really grow into Morkborg and Coriolis Great Dark. some great titles that are across so many genres. I mean, so like great dark sci-fi, and Mark Borg is just like really bleak horror, and it's just great to just see this these rules just get applied to so many different genres, and that because of like the stress mechanic that's inherent in them, that they're really, eh, that they're just making some fun games, and they're just making it easier for players to play these games. And so it's just a lot of fun to to see that grow and that develop this year. So, Number six is Gen Con 2025 reaffirmed physical conventions matter. Um, so I went to three conventions this year. So I started off the year with Genghis Con, my local con. It is the largest gaming convention here in Denver, Colorado. Well, here in Colorado, it's like more in the Aurora area. So, or Aurora. So a little, it's a stone's throw, from Denver, um, but we claim them. And then this summer was Gen Con. Now, Gen Con is ridiculous. Gen Con, 70,000 people showed up. It was nuts. And and it was just so much fun to represent Free League, and just some great games. Played the hell out of like Blade Runner and Alien, essentially like all weekend, and some Outgunned, and so much fun. So I loved Gen Con, and it's such a great crowd, and it's some fun players to play, to lead games with, because um a lot of these folks, are just looking for something different. They're looking for something new, and so there's just like a fun excitement, there's a fun enthusiasm with these players that you play with at Gen Con. So it was uh it was a lot of fun, and I just really think that it just reaffirmed in-person conventions, and that it reaffirmed, just being playing games with people, but then also just playing games like with strangers, playing, meeting new people, and it was just so much fun to see that this year as often as I did. And I'm looking forward to the next Genghis Khan that is coming up just in February. So not too far, not too far into the future here. So looking forward to that. And number five, live play content shifted back toward authentic tables. Um, now, what I mean by that is that audiences really cooled on hyper produced studio shows and returned to smaller, more personal actual plays. So, um, so for instance, um, Critical Role, has really blown up into a huge thing with their Mighty Nine, and just D&D, and also now Dagger Heart, and a few other gaming systems that they're pushing. And they have, they've gone to stadiums, and really packed the house, like with a just thousands of people. And I think that we saw people respond, like to, I mean, of course, Critical Role is always going to have and always going to draw a crowd. but I think just like with the but what we did see is just that it really tapered off, like as the year went. And so like I think that, you know, people like really started to see these, big shows. They gave it a try, you know, um and I think Critical Role may be an exception, I mean like uh they were certainly the I don't know. I think like Matt Mercer, and his crowd is, they'll probably follow him to the ends of the earth, I mean, um, but that there were, folks like Glass Cannon, that they're you know, fun group, but weren't necessarily kind of pulling some of the crowds that they had earlier in the year. And I think that they themselves like even started kind of going back to the drawing board a bit, and just going back to just the table of, just having 4 or 5 people, just playing a game together, and then doing that on their social media platforms and stuff. So you can see them now, and they're just like much more scaled down on YouTube, and just doing like a smaller, more intimate, tabletop experience, as opposed to just kind of like their full blown, you know, um, kind of auditoriums and such. And also too, I just don't think that the games just kind of play all that well to those crowds and stuff. But I think that people, like were interested and, and did, you know, check into it, and looked into it and just to see what it was all about, but I just don't see it I just don't see, like these tabletop games, just kind of like these role playing games bringing the crowd um like the like they did initially. So I think that it's cooled a bit. And a number 4, physical accessories became high value products. Um, Players wanted tactile elements that enhanced immersion and not just digital tools. So, virtually like every role playing game, you can get the book or you can get just the PDF files. And of course, it's cheaper, just to get like the PDFs and print in some cases, to print them off yourself, or um, or you can, uh, like print off maps, all kinds of like, great little accessories, that just really play, that really work with your RPGs. But I think, like just due to the advent of, Kickstarter, and just that so many companies are now using Kickstarter, they're creating like limited physical products, so like dice, or so for instance, um I had uh I had gotten the Kickstarter of Outgunned, and in its adventure set, and so like one of its adventure sets, then you kind of had like this kind of like browned map of this browned like world map, and also this little red plane that you could kind of like plot course of your heroes. And so it, it straight up looked like Indiana Jones, and now, it is not all that accessible now. I mean, because it was just kind of like a Kickstarter exclusive and stuff. But it was just so much fun to just see these kinds of accessories kind of like put into a game, because at the table, it's just a lot of fun to just kind of articulate like these little visual, tactile things, that are just there for immersion. They're just there for a joke. They're just there for fun. They're, they are, they're there, and they are there for fleeting moments that, uh, that can be great at the table. And so, yeah, there was just a lot of those things this year. And so, it was just a great thing to see. Also, Morkborg came out with like a boatload of maps as well, both like physical and digital, along with Pirate Borg. Uh, just just another great Morkborg offshoot. And so in their Kickstarter, they also had like punch out um, ships and pirate standees and all kinds of like just like really fun stuff that really helps you to get immersed in this great colorful world that, sure, your imagination certainly can fulfill, like this adventure. But, to to really, kind of see what what this creator was after, like with his own art, is really a lot of fun, and it's really cool to see. So, um, to do so number three is a veteran led and community focused creators, like really got some visibility this year. Storytelling tied to like lived experience and community purpose really like resonated strongly with audiences. um, Met like great uh great dude, Andrew, who I hope to have like on this podcast eventually. Um but his Blue Falcon Games is is was a lot of fun to get familiarized like with his new RPG. And I wish the best for it. And and also, it was it was a lot of fun this year to really see that so much of Genghis Khan's staff were all veterans. Um, so nearly all veterans. And the this this really um is something that I'm seeing more and more, uh, just because, like veterans really do organize themselves well, really, um, no man left behind, kind of uh, mentality to um, any kind of like community purpose, or any kind of like community experience. And and they are still like very intentional like with, um with having like a purpose driven um community, like, and audiences. And they really want, like the audience to get, like what they intended, across and such. And so I think that these are just some valuable qualities to have like in a convention setting where you got, thousands of people that are showing up, and there is like games going on like all over the place, and you need some organization. You need to, like, maybe, have a RPG room, a cards, like a card game um, room, a open gaming area, like all of these things. And also everything is scheduled. I mean, like everybody knows, that this game is going to be played for, 30 minutes per player, and so you can, kind of judge just how long a game might take, and and also like how many tables a particular game like may need, to actually be played. If you are going to be playing Twilight Imperium, hunker down for 8 hours, and and get yourself ready for some sprawl, um, because you're going to need a whole lot of table space to play this intergalactic conquest game that is amazing, uh, but a long game. And so, you got to know these things, just kind of going in, and I think, just having some veterans, like involved, to really kind of convey a lot of this information and stuff is invaluable. So, and number 2, cross media storytelling became standard practice. So games increasingly launched as part of like larger creative ecosystems. Um, so um, Games were being made of like virtually everything like this year, and that's usually, like the case quite a bit. I mean, heck, I think like it was just this year that there was a Call of Duty board game that was made. Now, people can, like, I don't know, hate on, that this is even a thing, but uh but I played the game and it ain't half bad. But um but it really, like captures the frenetic, um just the all the all the many weapons that you can have, and just like all kinds of like, it really captures, just kind of like the feverish nature of the game, and and that you are really go 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 all game long, and you are just really just trying to, like make as many points as possible. You're trying to get, like the best weapon. You're trying to, kill as many people as possible, and it just becomes you know insane. So and so the and and also like we are just seeing that uh, like for instance, there is a there is a Princess Bride sword fighting card game, and it's so fun and really captures, like the fun, like barbs that you can throw at each other during the course of like this little sword fight and stuff, and it's fun. And I think, that because of that IP, because of that intellectual property, that it can potentially really help you out to kind of, like get you know, more immersed in a game and such. So I think that's certainly, like a part of it, and so there was just like a lot of those. I mean, heck, in fact, like many of my favorite games, are IPs of movies. So the Blade Runner role playing game, the Alien role playing game. These are some of my favorites, and it's just because the environment is just so easy. It's so fun to articulate, and it's just great to get to just throw yourself into those worlds. So, before we get into my last selection, I think I'm going to take a little break here. And yeah, and so we'll be right back shortly with Aries Brood podcast. All right. See you in a bit.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket. A reminder that you can weather the storm and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25, and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at mbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up, stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
find us on the web at mbradio.us.
All right. Welcome back. So I am Lucas, and thank you for listening to the Aries Brood podcast. And so I've just been talking about like just the trends of tabletop gaming that I have seen in this last year, and that I have really appreciated, and I hope that you have too. So and so we're going to then get to number one. Number one is I really feel that tabletop gaming has proved that it's a human counterweight to digital saturation. So, in a year dominated by AI content and kind of passive media, tabletop gaming really stood out as intentional and social gaming. And so, I just, man, video games, like do have like their great social circles, and it's very social, um, digital community. And that's great. I think that that's awesome. But I think though that with tabletop, you have to be just like very intentional, and I think that in talking to like a lot of the game stores, like in my area, there was a lot more like board game parties or like board game get-togethers, card game get-togethers. I mean, even if it was, just some elderly folks getting together and playing mahjong, or just a family playing Uno. It doesn't have to be complicated, but I think that there really is, quite a renaissance, that is happening of just people just coming to the table and playing together, whether it's magic. So like the magic of the magic, magic is always growing. I mean, like it's still, one of the biggest card games out there, and it's growing more and more every year. I mean, so uh, um, I found out like just this year that they have a whole convention just to themselves. Just Magic Con. It was in Las Vegas this summer, and uh, and I had no idea. But yeah, they've got a whole convention that is just for Magic, and so that was an eye opener to me. I mean, like I knew that it was a popular card game, um, but tell me, what card game you would get together with thousands of people at you know at a convention to play. uh, I mean, th- that blew my mind. So um so that was that was awesome to find out, and I'm glad that that community is really uh blowing up. So um I think that, tabletop gaming, is obviously just it is obviously not dead, and it is it's really um it is it is really like in the midst of a renaissance, and really, getting people together again, and it's a lot of fun to just see these kinds of things happening. And so I hope that you are able to find conventions, near you, and also that you are able to get together and find some of like your new favorite games. And I hope to in this next year being like one of those agents of change, like be a great place, like where we are able, to come together, and just talk about new games. And um yeah, I really want to see that for this channel, as in the next year. I hope to be able to finish my tabletop role playing game. That is a goal of mine, and also like I hope to hear from many of you. Like whether you are in, like the Colorado area or not. I'd love to hear from you. About what you would like for this channel to be. So you can find me and communicate with me at ariesbrood.com, and that is where I'm kind of slowly but surely kind of like building a community that I will be play testing like my role playing game, and also just be getting together and just playing games in general. And so sure, if you're in Colorado, I'd love to meet you. But uh, I also would love to be doing like some live plays here on the channel, and also just bring some of these games to the table, and just letting you see what it's all about. Because like I know that it can be um it's it, it really it's one of those things that you have to open yourself up to, and you just really have to um it's a little bit of a leap of faith at at first, as you're not sure like what exactly to expect, with a new game, new people, and so I hope to just kind of help, make some of these games and some of these ideas a little bit more approachable. And I hope that that's something, that we'll be able to do here at old Aries Brood. And this is, a yeah, it's a passion of mine, to really get some folks together, to play games. And yeah, I hope that we're able to, to make uh, to bring veterans together in the Colorado area, and also, to And I hope to meet you at Genghis Con. That's coming up in February 20. I want to say February 20th. So, but it's in February. And so, but yeah, I look forward to seeing you, and I hope that you're able to reach out to me, and yeah, we'll be able to play some games. I will be running Marvel Champions and the second edition of the Alien role playing game all weekend, and so I'm really looking forward to that. Especially like this second edition of the Alien role playing game, which is actually like just came out this year, and I think that the Alien role playing game like really just made some changes that that they really needed to. So um, it was I'm I'm glad that they did it. Some people felt that it was like a little too early for like a second edition to have come out. I mean, but uh, quite honestly, I mean, the role playing game had been out for 5 years, so people need to calm down. I mean, it's not a cash grab, you know. Uh, so they've had a lot of time, to be to 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 play with this to figure out kind of like what was working and what needed some changes. So I'm eager to bring that to the table, and that actually like may even be like my next episode. Actually, is just going over the second edition of the Alien role playing game, because I love so much of the visuals of the game, and the art's incredible, and also um, Joel, he sprung for some great lights in our studio, and so I think that we will be able to make for like a pretty cool little table setup here, like for the sprawl of a little role playing game. So that just might be something that you can look forward to in the near future as just maybe a little alien RPG action up in here. So, so that'd be cool. But, um, so, yeah, be thinking about like what you might want to see with this alien, with this Aries Brood, podcast, and and just our role playing games, and yeah, I don't know, just kind of like things that we're you know, I've been leaning towards, like the stuff that goes bump in the night, um, but I'm really open to just kind of seeing, like what people want to see from this channel. And so I'm looking forward to changing with you. So um but so um yeah. So yeah, I look forward to seeing everybody seeing anybody at um Genghis Khan, like coming up in February. And there will also be like future episodes just like about Genghis Khan, and what I'll be running there. So I will likely maybe even have like I don't know, and a whole episode maybe about Marvel Champions, which I'll be running there as well. So, but that is very much a possibility. So, at any rate, yeah, reach out to me at ariesbrood.com, and you can find me across those socials. And um, so I look forward to hearing from you, and yeah, play some new games. Reach out, and just find, like just some really challenge yourself with some games. It's always easier, like when you're playing with folks and learning rules for the first time, like with other folks, and really kind of finding new things. And so in this new year, um, play some games that you haven't never played before. Um, really find, find some, um, yeah, find if you hate silly card games, then play a silly card game, because I guarantee you, that other people really enjoy it, you know, and um and I think that it will really help you to be, well, for one, less judgmental about silly card games, but also, in fact, I'll lead you to one. So one is Flip 7, which I really recommend to anybody. If you frequent like any kind of convention, it's funny because like there will be, all these hardcore, you know, strategy, gamers. But what are they playing in between games? They're playing Flip 7, because Flip 7 is just like a fun push your luck game, like where you're basically playing blackjack. I mean, like, so just imagine that you've got, so in this deck of cards, there are 10 tens, 9 nines, 7 sevens, 6 sixes, and and so uh and the dealer, like, will say, do you want a card? And hit me. And so you're taking cards, and you get a bonus, basically, like if you have 7 cards in front of you, like, and with that are all different. Now, if you get a card that is the same as the card that you already have, then you've busted and you get no points. So it's just it's a great game that's just very simple, and um and everybody, I swear to God, everybody's playing this game like at conventions. It's kind of, I don't know, it's like taking over conventions. There will be a Flip 7 convention at some point. But it's just like a wonderful card game, wonderful push your luck card game, that you can just play at the drop of a hat, and just play all night with as many people as possible. It's kind of fantastic. So, I highly recommend it, and and I um and I will have it, like, on this show at some point in the near future. But so, um, but I just want to thank everyone that has tuned in this 2025, and has just been listening to me, drone on about various board games and role playing games and
You mean
such,
Babel? Babel?
and babble, and and do like solo RPGs where we're, like, wandering through a dungeon together, um man, I love that stuff, and so, yeah, I hope to, bring on some folks, that will kind of, help to share in the fun. And I really look forward to doing that with you all. And whether we're playing Ravine or doing some, like dungeon crawl, or I don't know, or maybe soon, running away from aliens. I don't know. I look forward to it, and so so here's to a great 2026, and have a great happy new year, and I really look forward to playing games with you in this next year, and yeah, really look forward to just finding what's next. So thanks so much for listening to me, and yeah, play some games. And I look forward to seeing you around the table in this next year. So,
last thing, you got big plans for tonight?
I do not.
You don't? All right, there you go, everybody. So if you're listening to Lucas and you're interested in games, reach out to him. He's going to be very bored tonight, but that's okay. You guys can play a game. All right, you ready to get out of here?
Yeah.
All right, everybody, whatever you do, safety briefing weekend. Don't hit your dog, don't hit your cat, don't hit your wife, don't hit your kids. If you're going to drive, don't drink. If you're going to drink, don't drive. And with that, all that said, as we always say here at MBR, we're always here for you, not for us. We're giving our veterans a voice.
All right.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket. A reminder that you can weather the storm and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25 and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at mbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up, stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice.